Hello, Tanisha Salary here from the Resource Spot, and we are back with another Provider Spotlight interview. Today, we're shining a light on an incredible organization, A Place to Be Me. I'm joined by Stephanie via phone and Delana, who are here to share more about the amazing work they're doing in the community. Join us as we take a deeper dive into all they have to offer and how they're making a meaningful impact. Let's get started. Stephanie, I'd like for you to tell us about yourself.
Stephanie Caldwell. I am the co-executive director of A Place to Be Me. I have been working with individuals with developmental disabilities since I was 16. I started at a summer camp. I went to college, got my degree, worked for the County Board of Developmental Disabilities for almost 20 years. And as they privatized, I moved to a private day program as their employment manager. That's where I met Delina. We closed with COVID. That's where I met the majority of the individuals I currently work with as an independent provider. I did not go back to the private day program. I stayed an independent, and a few years later, we were handed this blessing of A Place to Be Me, and we haven't looked back since. So that's me.
Okay. And then Delina, you.
So my name's Delina Zingales, and I've been in the field since December of 2010. I started at a group home. So I worked with a private agency, and then I went to a nonprofit agency, and then I went to the day program, which was a private Medicaid agency. So that's where I got all my experience from. I have been volunteering. I started volunteering at Camp Cheerful, and I did some softball leagues when I was younger, and Aristocrat Berea was another group home. And then from my private agency job at the group home, I knew an occupational therapist, and she had A Place to Be Me, and she was looking to possibly dissolve it because she just couldn't do her private and this, but she knew of my dreams.
Okay.
And she was like, I would love if you would take it over. And then I got Stephanie along, and so here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So my first question, for those who may be discovering you for the first time, what do you do? And what services, programs, or experiences does your organization offer to the community?
So currently, we are offering socialization.
Okay.
Opportunities. We really want to focus on like things that normal services don't provide.
Okay.
Which is social opportunities, dating opportunities, self-expression, things like that.
Okay.
We are about to turn it into a Medicaid agency where we can provide services.
Nice.
That way, Stephanie and I can still support the people we support because we deeply care about them, and we want to make sure that we're still involved in their lives. But also we can, create better people that are going to take care of them after we can.
Got you. Kind of tie the two.
Yes, we're tying the two, our lives together with A Place to Be Me, and that way we can still continue to have the social opportunities and even expand on it.
Okay.
And set a better example for, agencies to come, because I don't think agencies should be big and huge.
Right. Takes away your personal.
Yes, and I think there's so many people out there that are, should own agencies and be above others to set good examples. So we love partnering with other people and stuff.
Okay. So what does a day look like for you guys?
Oh. Do you want to?
I was going to say currently we are both independent providers. So fortunately, it allows us the flexibility to do both. So we do a lot of things at the church. We have our friendship fence outside where we discovered the need for people to have access to warm winter gear like hats, gloves, socks, scarves, etc. So when we're working with our individuals, they've been at the church packaging those things, placing them on the fence outside. Nice. They've done shredding for us. They help us set up tables and chairs for events. They attend our events. Every day is a little bit different depending on who we're working with and, what we have going on. Fortunately, we've also developed a really good rapport and relationship with the church. So we've been able to be involved in their happenings and their events and helping out, with their stuff as well.
Okay.
And we do a lot of volunteering outside of here, yes. With the individuals we support. Also other partnerships, like tonight we're going to a soup dinner at another church that we're connected with.
Okay.
So yeah, we do a lot.
So are you mainly through the church vine, or is that a major part of you guys?
It's kind of like our hub.
Your hub?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah. It's where our office is. It's where we, meet and plan, and we have begun offering open hours, which we call common ground, because we have a vision of, having a space for people in the community, other providers, having a place to go. We've been blessed with a ton of people who've bought stuff off of our Amazon wish list. So we have a lot of activities. Mm-hmm. We have people that we know that are willing to come in and provide, whatever service that they're good at, whether it be our friends come in to do a sound bath. We have pet therapy. We've done some cooking. We've done art with We Thrive Online. So we really want to have that place, where people, us as providers, we get tired of going to the library and, going for a walk in the park. It just becomes mundane, and you're looking for other things to do and other people to connect with. So that was really the driving force behind our open hours.
Okay. Good fellowship.
Yes.
Okay. So our next question, what personal experiences or observations inspired you to create a place to be me? And how do these experiences continue to shape your mission today?
So like Stephanie said, we have the Common Ground program, and that was like my general vision, is to have a place that employs individuals with developmental disabilities and brings the community together. Okay. From my point of view in working in the field, I just think there's a need for the community to see more of individuals with disabilities out in the community and like make connections with them. I feel like it'll allow people to be more empathetic, to see how other people live that is just not black and white, straight and narrow.
Yeah.
There's more to life than just the straight and narrow and the black and white. I mean, you have to be flexible to other people that you encounter, so you don't judge that mom with the crying baby. So you don't judge that person that's stimming. I mean, that's normal for them. You need to learn how to let them be in the community. And that's, like me, I had an experience the other day with staring. Some individuals, they do hyperfixate on things. I hyperfixate in a different way, but when somebody stares at you, you're like, what the heck? Immediately, but sometimes it's not the case. So I mean, guessing having like that, teaching others to have that thought process, like, okay, wait, like, cause a lot of times I have to do it myself. Like, and that's what I've learned. I'm like, okay, wait, let me think back. Is this person have this issue going on? If they're this, they're that. So then you just understand more.
Right. So let me ask you a question, because that sprouts the other question for me. Do you guys work with people in the community who do not have disabilities and helping them understand what it's like to be on the other side of the table?
I think that's like our ultimate, one of our ultimate goals. So as like our logo says, building bonds and breaking barriers. And that's one of our ultimate goals, is to build those bonds in the community and break barriers down, because as far as we believe that we've come with people with disabilities, we still have so far to go. As far as even accessibility, we work with, different people who have different, physical accessibility barriers where we can't even get them, down a ramp, a rickety ramp, without fearing for their safety.
Mm-hmm.
We encounter social isolation still to this day. We meet people who have been at home with mom and dad for 30, 40 years, have no experience whatsoever being out in the community. Dating, for some reason, it's so taboo for, somebody who has a disability to want to date and find love. And, so we're really working hard to break all that down and show the community, that this is all, normal human things. We just came up with a shirt that says, just people being people. We're out there dating and working and, socializing and doing all the things that, anybody else would do.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've seen, I speak for myself. I'm not sure about Stephanie, but I mean, I was super blessed with the agencies that I have worked with because they really did care. But I've also worked with some people that just,
It's a job.
Yeah. So, that's why I would want to take things into my own hands so I can create something that I know that
have lasting impact.
Has a lasting impact. So, I think Ohio and even in Cuyahoga County, where the support services are a lot compared to what other places that I've heard of, like horror stories.
I have a friend down in Tennessee who is struggling to find supports for her kid.
Yeah.
Their community is very different than ours. So absolutely.
Yeah. No, I think parents, there are some parents that, have it hard trying to find somebody when they have more severe needs. But I explained to them, you are lucky though that you're here because people come here because of the supports that they don't receive in other states and counties.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's true because I also told her the same thing, and she has considered moving just a little across the border so that she can get access to more resources up here.
Yeah, and especially down in Cincinnati and Columbus. Columbus is the headquarters, so it's decent compared to other places.
Right. Okay, so can you share a story of a moment when someone's life was significantly changed by being a part of this inclusive community?
I can't pinpoint, but however, through my career, I don't mean to toot my own horn, and I'm not perfect. I have my faults, but I mean, when a family member comes up to me and tells me oh my God, I saw my kid hold the golf club differently because you found this resource for him. It's just okay, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I'm not helping them hold the golf club, but I'm finding them that resource we're better together.
Right.
So leading them there and, I've had numerous people come up to me can you help? And I'm well, no, I can't. I don't have time. But let me connect you with this person. And I was able to find them good resources. And now they're attending our common grounds and they're just opening up socially. I have one individual that me and Stephanie support who barely talked. And now she talks away.
That's a big moment. I mean,
yes.
And this is an adult, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. So parents still around?
Yes.
I can't imagine what the parents felt to hear her voice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah. She's one of my besties. And, that's what we call each other when we see each other. But yeah, she's thrived and, I just can't wait to see how much more we do with her.
Yeah. That in itself, as you're saying, you can't think of any moments. You just have one.
Yes.
Because he's on his way where? to work? Is that
Joe, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. when Joe came to us, I mean, he was, I can't even pinpoint, but him working with Stephanie has been just amazing. Our first event was a dating event at Wild Eagle Saloon, in Broadview Heights. Didn't know what we were doing. Just put it on, put it together. It was super well attended. And it was an open space.
Okay.
It wasn't like a hall or something that you rent, like typical people walking in and out. I would future like dating events to be a little bit more private.
Okay.
Because it's a little personal and we want to protect everybody. But, the responses that we received from the waiters and waitresses and the feedback from the patrons was great. They loved it.
Wow.
They would ask, like, can we serve them alcohol? And we're like, yeah, if they wanted alcohol, you can serve them alcohol if they're of age.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. It was breaking that barrier.
Yeah.
And then like people were like, oh, well, what's going on? What are they doing? And they're like, it's a dating event. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. You see them. They're in their community. They can be out in the community.
Right.
They can have these events.
Right.
They can date. They can do all these things. So it was just like probably a pivotal point. Like, it's like, okay, yes, this is what we should be doing.
You know what? That is something to be said. That's definitely breaking a barrier or boundary, because a lot of people don't think like that when they see someone with disability. They feel that they're not capable of handling it. You do get the stares. Sometimes people not wanting to help them, or the uncertainty of how to interact. So that's nice that you were able to put them into an environment that is like a typical environment versus something that's staged and set up just for them. It also gives them the real life experiences that I know a lot of people don't get to have from that side of the table.
Oh yeah, no, because they want, day programs. Like, you should teach them how to do laundry in this. Well, I don't have a dryer and a washer. Like, how am I supposed to teach them how to do like these normal things without having them do it?
I would say even in the sense of that is normal. But learning how to go out and be social, you have people who are not on the non-typical side of things that don't even know how to do that. I'm one of those awkward people. So really? I know that we're out here. It's nice to have, in a sense, a safety net, because you created that space to give them the safety while allowing them to experience and explore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something that, honestly speaking, people, like I said, who are not non-typical. I hate that phrase.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
I don't want to be typical anyways.
Yeah, my whole household, we all say we're weird. And we wear it proudly. We don't care.
No.
But yeah, I think that is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the goal is to have like all these, most of our events in public places. Okay. So that way the outside can see, like, this is what's going on. Like, they can be at a bar.
Yeah.
Parma Tap House, we host our annual Wingding. It's a fundraiser.
Okay.
But it's karaoke centered.
Oh, I bet that's nice.
Oh,
karaoke.
From working in a day program, these guys have talents. Mm-hmm. They have karaoke. They love to karaoke and sing. And it's just fun. That's what those things are. They're fun. You're not supposed to be judged when you're doing it. And then I'm like, I want to create a space where other people can see this, because it's just so fun.
Yeah.
And it makes me smile, and it makes me feel good, and it makes them feel good. Why shouldn't you have stuff like that?
Right. That's the purpose.
Yes.
That's the purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our next question: inclusion often requires challenging societal assumptions. What barriers have you faced while building this community, and how did you overcome them?
I know I shared about like the staring. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we always.
What about from this perspective? Were there any challenges? Because I know you mentioned how you kind of inherited this program. So were there any challenges after that point of keeping it up and running, or creating your momentum to get, because we kind of talked about off camera, your outreach and the community interactions that you're trying to build. So
yes. I mean, it is hard because, you know, a lot of people have a lot of different things going on. So getting them to help you with things is a struggle.
Yeah.
We're all so ran thin, and, you know, finding board members and people that want to show up and do the things. I mean, it is hard. But I'm persistent. And we just kept going to keep going.
All right. So for our last question, if resources were limitless, what is the boldest or most ambitious step you would take to expand your mission over the next 5 years?
That's definitely a loaded question, and I have lots of things that I would do. If resources were unlimited, though, I would definitely build a space. Like we said, we want a community space, and that would be our first step. And then I would just focus on training.
Okay.
You know, there's an organization called...
When you say training, with like people who work with other people, that kind of training, or training people who need
training people, like starting with schools.
Okay.
I think that's how you make better direct support professionals.
Okay.
How you make better professionals in the field to work with people with disabilities, but also interact with them in the community. So there was an organization called Ohio Alliance of Direct Support Professionals, which they're now called Lighthouse Cove. They have what's called DSPU, so Direct Support Professional University, and it is a career tech program.
Nice.
And I would definitely help them get that in every high school, because a lot of the things high schools and career tech programs don't do it because of funding.
Okay.
So that would definitely be part of my mission, is to, you know, get something that starts even earlier.
Okay.
In preschools and kindergartens, and
start them
all the way
young.
Yeah, I'm a full believer, if you're exposed and you learn, that's how you just treat people better. So just a lot of community stuff.
Yeah.
Educating the community.
So I'm going to ask a question. This would be a different one than I've probably ever asked anyone. What do you need? What would be beneficial or helpful for you guys?
Support. Just people just coming to collaborate, to give us their brains, to give us their time. I'm a full believer that time is the most valuable thing. So if you can't provide me money, which is totally fine, give me your support.
Right.
Give me your time. Give me your brain.
Yeah.
Help collaborate. Share about us. I mean, that's literally the best thing that anybody could do.
Okay.
Because, I mean, in the field, we can make the money. But what we can't do is share.
Right. Bring the people.
Yes. Yeah. Bring the people. I think a lot of people just don't, like with our Common Ground program, we say like anybody's welcome, but do like typical people think like they should go? I mean, you should.
They may not realize they need it.
Yes. Oh yeah. But if others share it, they will think so.
Right.
Yes.
So let me ask you one more question. I think we're going to end here. It's a small question. Your community that you service, primarily adult, or do you work with kids, or?
So primarily adults.
Okay. Like
our dating, we like to keep it. And like if we do have like bar events, which we do, because we don't want, you know, the limitations. We like to keep it 18 and over, 21 and over. But we do like our talent show that we are hosting this week for DD Awareness Month. That's all ages. We host a sociable, which is like a social carnival, is how we showcase it. And that's all ages.
Okay.
We want like community members to come to that, but also, you know, individuals to come and like see other individuals. You know, a lot of them go to the same day programs and do the same schools and do the same things. And like, there's just so many other people to meet out there.
Yeah. the reason I asked that question is just because I wanted the viewers to know exactly who your target is, because they may not realize that this is something that is more centered around adults, which, me personally speaking, I don't know of too many services out there that are just like, aside from Cuyahoga DD. I know that they definitely do stuff with adults, but I didn't know there were other ones. So it's good to know that there are more services available for people who have transitioned past that, what would you say, kid, teenage, young adult
the
now.
teenage, the young adults.
Yeah.
Yes. There's not a lot. I mean, that's like the biggest phase of these individuals' lives and parents is the transition phase. There, I've the lack of support, but that's why Live Special has the transition fair, which has been super nice. So we'll definitely get that information to share.
Any information you have.
Yes.
Share, please.
Yes.
So do me a favor, look right in that camera, tell everyone how they can reach you. This way we can connect you.
So you can visit our website. It's www.aplace2me.com. It has all of our events listed on there, phone numbers, emails, to connect with us there. And Facebook. Follow us on Facebook for like the most up-to-date stuff.
Are you on Instagram?
We are on Instagram too, yes. And LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All the different channels. Make sure you check them out.
We're trying to reach as many people as we can, which is, a struggle. So, but, we try as many outlets as we can.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you found this to be very informative, and I look forward to meeting with you all in the future. Have a great day. All right. What a great time we had at A Place to Be Me. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Provider Spotlight. If you or someone you know would like to be featured in an upcoming spotlight, we would love to connect with you. This is a great opportunity to share your services, your mission, and the impact you're making in the community, as well as giving people access to what you have to offer. To be a part of our Provider Spotlights, simply reach out to us via email or send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. Our Facebook is The Resource Spot, Instagram _resource_spot, and our email is resourcesjust4u@gmail.com. We look forward to working with you. Please stay tuned for our next Provider Spotlight. Have a great day.